Welcome to the Pulse Report, y'all, man. Episode 7. First and foremost, just want to take a quick moment to thank each and every one of y'all that supported last week's episode, man. But we're not going to hold you too much, man. Welcome to episode 7. I'm your host, Marco.
And I'm your co-host, the Joker One.
And, man, we just want to welcome y'all to the next episode. Thank you again for all of your support. And for those who wish to support or, not as up on, how to support, Josh, why don't you go ahead and tell them how they can follow us and follow the podcast?
For sure. On Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and SoundCloud, you can follow us at The Pulse Report. If you want to shoot us an email and give us some insight on what you think we may need to work on, you can email us at thepulsereportsubmit@gmail.com.
Yeah, man, most definitely, man. Y'all take advantage of that, please, man. Hit us up. Please give us some shout outs if you feel inclined to. We appreciate all the support thus far, and we hope to keep bringing you guys great content. But let's go ahead and get into it, man. TPR, here we go. So, Josh, man, I don't know if you noticed, but it's a headline that's buzzing up in Cleveland. Now, Kyrie Irving has requested to be traded. Now, for me, I think it's a big deal because I always said, Kyrie Irving is a one-on-one player. He's a ball-dominant player, this, that, and the fourth. But I think Kyrie Irving is having a problem not being the number one guy and the leader on the team. I mean, we all know LeBron James is the best player in the world. That's not up for debate. But Kyrie Irving feels like he needs to go somewhere and show everyone that he can be the best player on his team, which he's not in Cleveland. So tell me, what do you think about the request for a trade by Kyrie Irving?
Honestly, Marco, I think in another angle, this is what I think. I think LeBron James came to Kyrie Irving and told him, look, bruh, next year I'm gone. So if you want to get out now, you better get out now. If you don't want to sink in Cleveland, demand a trade. That's what I honestly think happened. I think Kyrie knows LeBron isn't staying. He's not staying in Cleveland. That is what I honestly think. I don't know where LeBron is going to end up, but it will not be Cleveland in the beginning of the 2018 NBA season.
You know what? I actually disagree with you 100%, man. And I'm going to tell you why. I think Kyrie Irving is requesting a trade because LeBron is going to stay in Cleveland. I think, like I said, I always believed that Kyrie Irving wanted to be the guy. Let's not forget, when he was drafted, he was looked at to be the guy, the number one option. And he was the number one option until LeBron got there. But the funny thing about that is LeBron only came to Cleveland because they had Kyrie Irving and his ability to lure Kevin Love into signing with them as well. So I think it's actually really funny how things are starting to play out. But it's even more interesting because I heard you mention you think LeBron is going to leave next year. I think with LeBron going into his 15th year in the league, I don't think there's anything left for LeBron James to prove. He's already one of the greatest players of all time. To many, he's going to be in their top 5 when he chooses to hang them up. I don't have a problem with that. But I think LeBron has nothing else left to prove. So leaving Cleveland and going somewhere else to do exactly what? I mean, do you want to go to another team? Sure, you could probably win another championship if you was to join a team like maybe a San Antonio. But is it really worth going all the way to Texas from your home state to try to mesh with another up-and-coming superstar like a Kawhi Leonard and still have to deal with a Golden State and maybe not win a championship? So now you left. You probably going to play maybe 4 to 5 more years in the league. I'm not sure. I'm not saying LeBron James will retire in 4 to 5 years, but at an elite level, I have him probably playing 3 or 4 more years at the level that he's playing on, which is phenomenal. But I think that it's not worth it necessarily for LeBron James to leave Cleveland and go anywhere else to try to win a championship. I mean, they just went to the championship, and being in the East is a lot easier than being in the West. So if he goes to San Antonio, it's no even guarantee that they would even make it to a championship game. So I think Kyrie Irving has decided that he's going to leave because LeBron James is going to stay. Why not go somewhere where you can be the number one guy? He has a ring. He's been to championships, or should we say 2.5 because he got hurt. But he's been to 3 championships. He's gotten one. He's a young guy who's basically, going into his prime. So why not go somewhere and build your own legacy? And I think that is why Kyrie Irving has requested a trade. What do you think about what I think?
I mean, my rebuttal to that is, okay, LeBron James looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers and they're maxed out. Like, this is the best team that they're going to get. They're $28 million over the cap. You only can give people but so much money. And when that's the case, you're not going to get good players. So in my mind, even though LeBron James is a great, maybe a top 5 player all time, he's not trying to settle for that. At the end of the day, he's still chasing something that many of us think he can't get, but that gives him more drive to chase, at least try to catch up to Mike. And that's the reason why I think he will ultimately leave and go to a team, someone that has a superstar who is ready. I heard you mention Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard's not a young star. He's ready now. So you're not telling me LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard doesn't become, one of the best duos in the league as soon as they get together. And what Greg Popovich coaching that team, that'll be one hell of a team. And the thing about him keep going to the championship, at this point, everybody knows at some point you're just going to have to face Golden State. And at this point, you know that the team that you got constructed is not going to beat Golden State. So why not try to go elsewhere where they maybe have the money and you can lower another 2 stars that you feel as though may get the job done versus Golden State? It's still a possibility. Like I said, his ultimate goal is to try to chase that ghost. So he's trying to get as many rings as possible. And as I see it right now, Cleveland is not beating Golden State. So that's why I ultimately think he will leave, and he probably gave Kyrie Irving a heads up. But I don't know. But that's how I honestly feel it went.
That's interesting. And it becomes even more interesting when you start to look at numbers, because Kyrie Irving had the best year of his career this past season. The 16-17 season. So it's actually kind of weird that Kyrie Irving will want to go somewhere else, and feels like his role, it was said that, under speculation, it was said that he wanted a bigger role. And I just don't understand what his bigger role could be other than being the number 1 option, when being a number 2 option to LeBron James isn't bad at all. It's almost like being a 1B. It's not necessarily a second option, because LeBron James isn't necessarily looked at as the guy that's going to go out there and get 30 every night. Now, he can get 30 every night, and we've seen that. We've witnessed that. But LeBron James also is a pass-first player. And why not be a recipient of so many LeBron James passes? But here's where it gets me, because I'm all about, assassins and that Mamba mentality. Shout out to Kobe Bryant. But I'm always about that. And I do know that Kyrie Irving has that killer instinct in him, but it's almost a gift and a curse for him, because with Kyrie Irving, he's looking to go one-on-one almost every play. And that you are not going to do with LeBron James and your team. So I understand that. But honestly, I hear people saying, oh, he should go to the Spurs. Kyrie Irving I'm talking about here. But Greg Popovich isn't going to allow Kyrie Irving to play one-on-one basketball every time up and down the floor. That's the exact opposite of what Greg Popovich is about. Greg Popovich is all about ball movement. I mean, we see Kawhi Leonard have an amazing season, but it's not because Kawhi Leonard is literally calling for the ball on every play and taking his guy one-on-one. And to me, that's all Kyrie Irving. Not to say he's a one-dimensional player. He is a scorer, and he's not really a passing point guard. But I don't think that he fits in with a San Antonio system. Sure, Greg Popovich arguably is the best coach in the NBA. To some, may be one of the, if not the best coach in the NBA. So I understand how people can, look at it and say Kyrie Irving would fit right in with the San Antonio Spurs. But I think it's the exact opposite because his style of play. But, I mean, do you see any other team suitable for Kyrie Irving that would kind of give him an edge? Because I honestly like the Milwaukee Bucks. I think that's a great option for him to try to explore.
That's nice. That's nice.
And although he won't win much with this next team, probably, but do you see any other teams being suitable for him if he is traded?
It depends on what he want to do. Now, are you trying to be the man, like bring a non-competitive team and make them something and show how good you are, or are you trying to go to a contender? And if he's trying to go to a contender, Milwaukee sounded nice. So I would have said Toronto, but I forgot they said Kyle Lowry. So I really don't see
Miami is an option as well.
I was just about to say maybe Miami.
So look, I actually just put this on Twitter, right? What if Kyrie Irving decided to have a press conference like LeBron did about the decision and then say, I'm taking my talents to South Beach? I'd lose my mind. I would lose my mind.
That would be crazy.
That would be classic. Hey, Kyrie, if you do that, you'll be the GOAT. Kyrie, you're probably not listening to this podcast, although you should be. You should.
Should be.
But, Kyrie, do a decision and go to Miami. Oh, man, that'd be crazy.
That'll be dope, bro.
But I definitely like him in Milwaukee with Jason Kidd at the helm. And I think, with Giannis Antetokounmpo, that he could actually fit right in. I mean, Giannis isn't necessarily the guy that's trying to get 30 either. He's a 15, 10, and 12 guy on a regular, But he can get 25 points, but he's not necessarily looking to shoot the ball. He's not really a knockdown shooter. And I think with a guy like Kyrie Irving coming into a system like that with a Jabari Parker, Thon Maker, man, that's a scary young unit. And they could give a team like Boston some trouble, because I think if Kyrie Irving loses, I think Boston comes out of the East. I'm sorry, LeBron. I think you're the greatest player in the NBA right now, but I don't think you guys will have enough without Kyrie Irving to beat a team like the Boston Celtics.
It depends on what you get for Kyrie, because you can get something great for him. So
yeah,
it depends on what you could get.
That's true. That's true. I haven't thought about that, like that.
Yeah.
And he is requesting a trade. It's not like he's a free agent. So you would have to give up something to get him.
Absolutely. Exactly. And we not letting him go for biscuits and gravy. So
biscuits and gravy. I mean, biscuits and gravy, depending on what you complimented with, is pretty good.
But you ain't getting Kyrie Irving for that. I'm sorry.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I don't know, man. I mean, hey, I wish the best for Kyrie Irving. Honestly, I don't think it's a good idea for him to leave. Kyrie, you've only been in the league for about 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
I understand you wanting to go and do your own thing, man. But if I have LeBron James as a teammate and I just went to 3 straight finals and he just went to 7, I might want to milk that cow a little longer, man. No, honestly. Because look at it like this. Let's say Kyrie Irving leaves. You're not going anywhere to win a championship. I'm sorry. You're really not, unless you're going to Golden State. Because Golden State is about to win the next 2 to 3 championships. It is what it is.
Easy.
And let's just say Kyrie Irving goes to the West. You know how crazy and how hard it would be to get out of the Western Conference with this Rockets team, the Spurs team. Like, man, I'm not even going to mention the Warriors because that's just a foregone conclusion. But if you're going to go somewhere, you better stay in the East. And again, if you stay in the East, more than likely you're going to be going up against LeBron and or the Boston Celtics. So I think it probably behooves Kyrie Irving to stay in Cleveland and milk that LeBron James cow, man. Milk that greatness. Grab a hold of that, man.
Maybe the man's not happy. If you're not happy, I mean, it's not going to work. So
now, I don't deny that he's not happy. I just don't think that his happiness is set in the right place. Like, his goals aren't really set the way they should be. And that's just my perspective. Again, I'm all for him going out there and being a beast. Go out there and give him a 40-piece every night, Kyrie. But if you don't win, it means absolutely nothing to me.
Yeah.
So do your thing, Kyrie. But we're gonna get off the Kyrie train because I want to get on a more serious topic and get some good insight. So O.J. Simpson. Now we all know O.J. Simpson. Some of us know him for good things like football. Some of us know him for the bad things that I won't mention. But O.J. was granted parole. I just want to know, man, what do you think about that, man? O.J. Simpson's he's coming home, man. What do you think about O.J.?
When I saw this, first of all, as a society, why are we giving O.J. Simpson any publicity? Why is when him going on parole, we got that on live TV? That's the first thing. That shouldn't even been like, he probably thinking right now, dag, I still got the juice. Like, the juice is loose. But as far as the crime that he committed, I mean, he did it will be probably what 8 to 9 years he served. I mean, he served the time for what he did. I know a lot of people want him to do more time because of the previous, allegations that were put amongst him that he got off for. Everybody wants him to serve that full 33, but for the crime that he committed, which was the theft, stealing his own property, he served 9 years in prison. And I feel as though I wasn't upset at it. It didn't matter to me if he stayed in or if he stayed out. To me, I feel like the man did his time. He out on parole. I really don't have a problem with the decision, honestly. What are your takes on the situation?
Much like yours, man. I think OJ, I don't have a problem with OJ coming home for the crime he was accused of and charged for. I don't think it was, a big deal the way a lot of people tried to make it a big deal. And I think him going to prison was more so people focusing on the previous allegations of his late wife. But I think that him coming home right now, honestly, I think it's a good thing for OJ Simpson. I'm happy that OJ's coming home for that reason, because the charges that he was locked up for were trash. Like you said, theft of your own property. Like, come on, man. Memorabilia that I own, and I went, to go get it. I just thought that was trash. But again, a lot of people didn't feel that way because of his, previous allegations. So I can't really sit here and say, oh, I'm happy for OJ. I'm just happy that in retrospect, he didn't have to go to jail for a long time for something that's so minor. Because contrary to what, most people feel about OJ Simpson, I'm not necessarily focusing on this about OJ Simpson. I'm really looking at it from a justice standpoint for that charge. Let me repeat that, because I don't want anybody to get it misconstrued. For what he went to prison for this time, I'm not happy with the outcome. We live in a society where we've all been dealing with injustices, especially, based on the complexion of your skin. So for this purpose, I'm happy that OJ Simpson is not doing, all of this time again for such a petty crime. Hey, man, like you said, the juice is loose. I'm pretty sure he's happy. And I think that, anybody that might be upset about it, hey, that's your own personal opinion. I'm happy that he's home for the, charges that he faced. But we all know OJ did it. I ain't gonna candy coat it. We know OJ did it.
I was just about to ask you on just, on a minor situation, do you think he did it? You don't even know. You already know what I'm talking about.
Hey, listen, man. If y'all haven't saw the series that they aired on FX, what was it called? The OJ Story or something like that?
Yeah,
no, that's the Jay-Z
you talking about the one with Cuba Gooding Jr. or you talking about
that
OJ
was
versus
Hey, man, that was a
America?
really good show. I encourage you all
good.
to go. It was times, I'm not gonna lie, it was times where I thought about, maybe he didn't do it, and then I was like, yeah, he definitely did it. But that's just me. Hey, he's still one of the greatest college running backs. You know what I'm saying? For the time he was at college, man, OJ
NFL.
was the man.
And NFL running back. Are you crazy?
But was he one of the greatest NFL running backs? I don't think so.
Yeah, boy, 2 bands. What are you talking about? It's OJ Simpson, the juice. You gonna sit here and you gonna sit here and play with OJ Simpson?
How is that playing with OJ Simpson? I don't understand.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
You just gonna say that he not a top back. Let me read you this man's stats.
Okay, let's listen.
He rushed for 11,236 yards and 61 touchdowns, and he averaged 4.7 a carry.
I mean, he was good
in that career. Yeah, in that career, he gave you 2,000.
All right, okay. Are we saying that OJ Simpson is one of the greatest running backs of all time in the NFL?
Yes, he's top 10 running backs of all time. OJ Simpson.
Top 10.
He might be 10, but he in there.
All right, if you want to say he's 10, I might have to reference some more numbers. He
some might be higher than that. I'm just saying he's in the 10. That's a fact.
Okay, we'll go with that. Speaking of top, let me ask you real quick before we end on the OJ subject. Who are your top 3 wide receivers of all time in the NFL, from top to bottom? Just top 3.
My top 2 off rip is Jerry Rice and Randy Moss.
Okay, so who's number 3?
Number 3, it gets interesting because I love T.O., But Marvin Harrison was a bad man too.
Marvin Harrison,
Marvin Harrison was a bad man.
Yo, when you call yourself the
Hey.
Joker one, I see, because you got jokes. There's nowhere in the world
Hey.
you about to tell me Marvin Harrison is the third best wide receiver of all time.
Man, Marvin Harrison was a dog. I don't
He
care
what?
what
No,
you
he. All
about to
right, so let me ask you this. Is Marvin Harrison better than T.O.?
When you
Yes or
say no, T.O. was
Is
the
Marvin
third
Harrison
best
better
receiver
than
of all
Randy
time.
Moss?
No, I already
Okay.
said that.
Is Marvin Harrison better than Jerry Rice?
No.
All right, I have a good one for you. Is Marvin Harrison better than Michael Irvin?
To me, yes. I don't see.
Wow.
Well, I didn't watch Michael Irvin, but I don't see what's the hype on Mike.
Well, you didn't watch
When I
Jerry
look-
Rice either.
But I looked at Jerry Rice highlights, and the numbers back Jerry Rice up.
So you watched
The
Jerry
numbers-
Rice highlights, but you saw the Michael. You saw the Michael
When
Irvin
I look
link
at the
come up, and you was
Cowboys
like,
highlights,
nah.
that's what I'm saying. I see a couple catches, but it was I see more Emmett and more than I see Michael Irvin. I feel
All
like
right, look.
Emmett was a bigger piece than Michael Irvin was.
Hey, guess
So,
what?
Yeah, I
I'm
think
gonna play
Marvin
devil's
Harrison's
advocate
better than
real
Michael
quick. I'm gonna play devil's advocate real quick. I think Randy Moss is the greatest wide receiver of all time. And that's
I'm
no
not mad at
disrespect
you
to
for
Jerry
saying
Rice.
that.
No, I just
I'm
want to
not
make this
mad at you
statement
for
because I
saying
know
that.
some people, it's almost like a consensus that Jerry Rice is the greatest wide receiver of all time. But I just want to make this statement. Randy Moss was so unguardable by anybody. Like, if you threw a quick screen to him, he would not be touched. You know, the guy's stride would take him to the end zone without being touched. You could not guard him. We watched film of D'Angelo Hall, who ran a 4.3, literally get smoked by Randy Moss by like 8 yards. Easily. Like,
Easily.
Randy Moss, you couldn't jump with him. You couldn't run with him. He was the greatest wide receiver of all time. I'm sorry. I know some people are going to give me hell about that. But,
I'm not mad.
hey, listen. Randy Moss was the greatest wide receiver of all time. I'm just saying. I just want to put that out there.
Bro, his name is a verb. If two kids go outside and one kid catches the ball over him, you know what everybody gonna say? You just got mossed.
You
like
just
that will
got
forever.
mossed. A
That
verb.
will forever. Yeah, a verb, a action that you can go out and do. That's how good he was. He made his last name a verb. Wow.
I agree with you. No, I'm with you on that one. But let's switch gears really quick onto another political, well, not necessarily a political comment, but if you hadn't heard, Michael Vick made some very controversial comments about Colin Kaepernick and what Colin Kaepernick needs to do to get back into the NFL. Now, if you're like me, then you believe that Colin Kaepernick is being blackballed by the NFL for doing something righteous, standing up for people of color who have been treated unjustly by the police departments across the country. As we know, Colin Kaepernick has not been signed. He is a free agent, and no team has signed him. And I honestly feel like Colin Kaepernick is better than at least 20 to 25 backup quarterbacks in the NFL. So there's no reason Colin Kaepernick isn't on an NFL roster. But Michael Vick came out and said, first and foremost, Colin Kaepernick needs to cut his hair. Image is everything. Now, we're talking about a guy who had cornrows during the peak of his career. Colin Kaepernick needs to cut his hair, according to Michael Vick, in order to be presentable. That's what he said. Be presentable. Michael Vick also said that Colin Kaepernick isn't in the league because of his last 2 years in the NFL. Okay, Michael Vick. Colin Kaepernick registered a higher QBR rating than Blaine Gabbert, Geno Smith, and it was another quarterback. I can't think of him off the top of my head. And all of them are on NFL teams. Blake Bortles sucked too, by the way. I don't care what anybody say. But yeah, there's no way in the world Colin Kaepernick isn't in the league because of his last 2 years in the NFL. That's pure garbage. But I would love to hear what you feel about that situation. How do you feel about what Michael Vick said about Colin Kaepernick?
Because when Michael Vick said he need to cut his hair, I don't know if he was just saying maybe he just need to do something with the fro, but I agree maybe you need to do something. I'm not now. Before I say this, nothing that you do for that Colin Kaepernick does with his hair is going to get him a job. But if you at least, presentation is everything, like you said. So if you not cut the hair, at least if you got an interview, braid it up, corn roll it, do something. Don't come in here with a fro. It's just like people in the regular world don't even go to a job interview with a fro. So you about to get paid billions of dollars in the NFL. Why? Just do something to it. Act like you care. Clean your image up in that aspect. But as far as Michael Vick comments go, I think he wasn't out of line. When I heard Michael Vick talking, he genuinely cared about Colin Kaepernick, and I just think he was giving him advice from his side. Someone who's
when
been
Michael
through
Vick
the
came
trenches.
home from prison, he also said he genuinely cared about animals. I don't believe it, man. Listen, Michael
He probably
Vick,
did. Prison changes everybody. Prison changes people. I ain't gonna say
Prison
everybody.
changes
It
people.
changes people.
Absolutely. But here's my thing. Everything that Michael Vick said can be looked at. There's something that's credible about what he said. There's a truth to every lie. But my thing is this: Michael Vick know that this has nothing to do with image, because Colin Kaepernick has done nothing to assassinate his character. Like, Michael Vick went to jail for dogfighting, right? A felony.
Yeah.
Michael Vick did jail time. Michael Vick is a convict or an ex-con.
Facts.
Whatever. He needed to reform his image when he got back into the NFL to look more acceptable, because to the public, you were a bad guy for doing something that was unlawful. Colin Kaepernick did not violate any laws. Colin Kaepernick did not hurt anyone physically. Colin Kaepernick simply took a knee during the national anthem. And when he asked why did he take the knee, he clearly expressed it was symbolic of the unjust handling of black and brown people throughout America who were being killed by the police and treated unfairly by police. So image had nothing to do with it. Colin Kaepernick could have had braids. He could have had a mohawk, which all of these other NFL players have, by the way.
Right.
And it would not have made a difference. Hell, if Colin Kaepernick if he had a clean cut right now, he still wouldn't be in the NFL. He'll still be looked at the same way. And this is the NFL. It's not about a job interview. Like I heard you say, even if you're going to have a meeting or something, you need to show up. It's the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So for me, Colin Kaepernick is being now treated unfairly by Michael Vick. A superstar in his own right, during his time in the NFL. And I feel like Michael Vick really was just trying to be politically correct so he can look good and get him a job. And I'm not even being funny about that. Like, I think Michael Vick was really auditioning for an NFL analyst position. Wow. And he was trying to be politically correct, because this is not the Michael Vick that I know, or the Michael Vick I was used to. And that's cool if you want to say it's maturity, it's wisdom with age and all of that. That's cool. But again, none of what Michael Vick said could have been done by Colin Kaepernick, and he would have had a job. Point blank, period. Colin Kaepernick is being blackballed by the NFL because the NFL is a huge organization ruled by, I won't say the color of the skin, but we know what's up. So when you go against the grain, they'll show you that you can't take on a monster like the NFL. But I think, I'm all for Colin Kaepernick, man. Shout out to you, Colin Kaepernick. More power to you. I'm behind you, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm behind you 100%. I think that it's a disgrace for the NFL to be doing something like this. We've had people fight dogs. We've had people hit their wives. We've had people shoot themselves. We've had people with drug usage, people with steroid usage. We've had all types of athletes in the NFL do all crazy things. Colin Kaepernick took a knee. I want people to just put that in perspective. Colin Kaepernick took a knee. I don't care if it was the national anthem. I don't care if it was the Rough Rider anthem. He took a knee. And now he's not allowed to be in the NFL for some odd reason, and people want to blame it on his play. That's cool if you want to say he's not a starting quarterback, but there's no way in the world Colin Kaepernick isn't a backup quarterback. There's backup quarterbacks on rosters that half of you guys out there can't even name. I guarantee you Colin Kaepernick is better than them. Hell, who's the starting quarterback for the Browns?
Me?
Exactly. LeBron James.
I got
Kyrie
training camp of the
Irving.
week.
Kyrie Irving's going to leave the Cavs and go play quarterback for the Browns.
Hey, Kyrie. Now that would be crazier than the decision.
I mean, Kyrie like a good solid 6'2". He, you know what I'm saying? He might be. I mean, he can't be no worse than Johnny Manziel. Who else was their last couple quarterbacks? I mean, I think who they have now, Brock Osweiler. He not even a starting quarterback according to reports, or is yet to be named the starting quarterback. Hey, you mean to tell me Colin Kaepernick can't even be a backup on the Cleveland Browns?
You right, bruh. He kind of got like that Tebow effect, because you know when you get him, all that's going to come with it, that media attention, the people killing your franchise for giving him the chance and being that Scott. I think owners are really scared to take, because I guarantee there's one team out there right now that's like, I really want to get him, but I really don't want to be that team that have to answer those questions and deal with the circus that's going to come behind it. So,
right, but here's my thing. If you're the Browns, right, you've been dealing with Josh Gordon for years. Right. You've been dealing with Johnny Manziel for years. You can't deal with Colin Kaepernick and the fact that he took a knee and standing up for black and brown people across America? If I'm somebody, I'm behind it 100%, because the NFL ain't going to kick a whole team out the league. But if you're a team like the Browns, in my eyes, all publicity is good publicity if you the Browns. You guys ain't won 4 games in who knows how long. I want it. Bring it on. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're the Browns. Our logo is a color. Like, we're the Browns. We can't get any worse than this. Matter of fact, Colin Kaepernick is standing up for brown people. Do you see the marketing I'm putting out here? The Browns are standing up for Colin Kaepernick, who is standing up for brown people. Come on, man. I'm a genius. Somebody gonna hire me to be a PR person, because that was genius right now. And that was off the top of the dome like a freestyle. Man, if somebody out there hire me, I'll send you. Hey, listen.
Drop the mic right now, bruh.
Are you serious? Man, listen. Colin Kaepernick needs to be in the NFL. Michael Vick needs to go sit down somewhere. He, kind of upset.
Man.
I like Michael Vick, but come on, man. Like, you let us all down. We stood all behind you when you was out here fighting dogs. That's way more of an egregious crime.
Right. I mean, he's fighting dogs. I ain't even about to get into that. Leave the animals alone. Leave the animals alone. That's all.
But, but we stood behind Mike Vick when that happened, though. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. And I think for him to go on national television and say something like that, that was just out of line. Vic, if you really feel that way, cool. But you don't got to put that man under the bus like that and drive the bus and reverse the bus. Like, I just feel like, come on, man. You better than that.
Man, leave Mike alone, man. That's all I'm going to say. You all right in my book, Mike.
I'm going to leave Mike alone. On a lighter note, I just want to acknowledge, man, listen, people who care, people that follow the podcast, people that support the podcast, we got a new logo. And we're going to be dropping that new logo next week. So I hope you guys are paying attention. I know it's not a big deal to some of y'all. It's a big deal to us. We got a new logo. We got some new things coming up. We have a really big announcement coming up on our next episode. So make sure you guys tune in to that. So you guys make sure you tune in. Please, please, please tune in. And again, man, we thank you guys for your support, because we're going to wrap this thing up right here, right now. But thank you guys for your support, man. We at it each and every week, trying to bring you guys great content. So please hit us up, man, at any time. Josh, go ahead, tell them where they can hit us up at.
You know it. You can hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and SoundCloud at The Pulse Report. And if you want to shoot us some private emails and let us know what you want to do or what we can work on, email us at thepulsereportsubmit@gmail.com. Please support us, man. We really appreciate the criticism, the likes, everything. We like the interaction y'all give us on the social medias. Like I said, we're going to take this thing to a whole nother level. We got a lot of things in the mix. Like I say, like Marco said, stay tuned to the next episode. We're going to unleash some of those things.
Yeah, most definitely. So yeah, we'll catch y'all next week. TPR, we out.
We out here.
Yeah, you got the pulse report.